watching QTV, broadcasting live from our main studios along the Kairava Avenue, QCell building, West Africa, the Gambia. My name is Babu Karsi, and welcome to this special edition of Effective Lead Agency for Road Safety, episode brought to you by the Ministry of Transports, Works and Infrastructure. Thank you so very much once again for, of course, accompanying us as we bring to you very important and interesting topic of discussions, for the benefit of the general public. With me in the studio this evening is Mr. Essa Drame, Director of Transports at the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. Accompanying him is George Jatta, the Technical Director from the National Road Authority. Gentlemen, welcome to this very important but interesting program that I hope we will share ideas, of course, talk to the public for the next 1 hour on road safety.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me start with you, Mr. Jatta. You're from the National Road Authority, and we are talking about a very important topic, road safety. Road safety. This is not the first or second time I am hosting a program like this. We're talking about the effective lead agencies that would lead to us to road safety. And when we talk about road safety, what we see online, what we see on Google, when it comes to the country of less than 2 million people or just 2 million people, and the problems that we are facing on our roads, the accidents that we are facing on our roads, are you the people that are working, to make sure that we have better roads, good roads, not only good roads, but also people use it, in a safer manner without, causing tragic things. How important is this, the effective lead agencies for road safety?
Thank you. The effective lead agency is very, very important because it will be the one, it will be the coordinating body of all road safety activities. For now, what we have is a road safety committee comprising of stakeholders from the National Roads Authority, from the Ministry of Transport, from the police, and so on. But the road safety lead agency will help coordinate all these activities, and this is really very, very important because most of the times when you go on road safety, West African road safety meetings, WASO, the issue of lead agency comes up every time. And Gambia is one of the countries that are yet to have a lead agency. So it's important and it's time that we also have one.
Okay. Well, what do you think might be the cause of this? What might lead to this, that the Gambia is still lacking behind in making sure that it has these lead agencies in place?
There are so many issues that are at play, but for now we're very hopeful that very soon we'll have the lead agency.
Okay. The same question will be asked to you, Mr. Drame. Of course, you are the Director of Transports at the Ministry. Very important. We might sit here be talking about road safety, but the Ministry, you'll agree with me, that cannot do it alone. It has to be a holistic approach, and everybody should be involved in this, because some of these people that get affected, sometimes might not even come from your ministry. We're talking about the whole nation at large, but the lead agencies, very important.
Yeah, thank you very much. The issue of the lead agency, not only the lead agency, but having an effective, lead agency, is very important. One may ask, why we bring in this as a topic of, discussion, because, we want everybody to be at the same level, to know what exactly needs to be done in order for us to, improve our road safety, situation in the country. This issue of lead agency was brought to limelight in the global status report, the fourth global status report that was prepared by WHO in 2004. In fact, that very report, brought to the world the attention, the importance of, road safety. So in this report, it was highlighted there, any country that is serious in improving its, road safety activities, you must have a lead agency, and then you must also have a road safety policy, strategy with a clear target. For us in the Gambia, we have a road safety policy, and then we also have a strategy where we have the target there. But, one critical issue that, needs to be addressed is the issue of the lead agency. Okay. This lead agency, it can be in different forms. So that's why the topic, we said the effective one. Though it is, debatable, different countries, they have, different models. If you go to, Nigeria, they have a whole, setup, just like a security, just like the police. They put on the uniform. They are the ones, given the responsibility to improve the road safety situation there. If you go to Sierra Leone, they have what they call traffic wardens. And then if you go to Ghana, they had National Road Safety Commission, but now it has been upgraded to an authority. For them, they don't put on uniform, but, they have a authority, that is, responsible for that. So, different countries, the WHO, they recommend, countries to have a lead agency, but they don't want to prescribe
what approach to use.
Because, different models, might, be suitable, for different, countries. So it depends on the nature of the country and then the situation that, you have. But what is important is, the lead agency should have some critical, elements, that need to be in place. For example, the lead agency should have the authority. The authority, in a sense, should have some legal, backing. That, it is the entity that is responsible for improving the road safety situation in the country. Because, currently, if you look at the Gambian setup, that is the problem that we have. For example, if you discuss, the issue of road accidents, with, people outside, some, they will blame NRA. They say, because we are having and then, others, they will say the police are not doing their job. Some will say, the drivers are not, doing their job. But, the truth of the matter is there should be an entity that should be accountable, for all these things. There should be an entity which should have, resources to allocate, resources, to different, players. For example, when it comes to road infrastructure improvement, the resources, should be allocated there. Because the National Roads Authority, they might tell you the reason why we're not having signboards, or the reason why some soldiers, are worn out, because, the resources are not, adequate. Because if you have the adequate resources, we would have done. Maybe the police, they will tell you maybe we don't have the necessary, equipment, in place. And then when accidents, occur, maybe the reason why, these, the emergency response services do not get there on time, they might tell you, maybe we don't have the, required, ambulances that, should take us, there on time. So there should be an entity which should, coordinate, this and all these, activities, and the entity should be, accountable for the improvement of road safety or otherwise in the country.
Mr. Dramé, you've given us some very good examples of countries that have already taken up this step and they've set the ball rolling, I would say. Gambia, not yet. How soon? You're from the ministry. Are you putting up, mechanisms to make sure we also get into it? We are getting into 2022. This should be, because accidents in the Gambia is like every 2-3 days you hear them. And then, as you rightly mentioned, people will blame the police, the NRA, you name it. But this is a very good initiative, as you just explained. There should be people responsible for this, and they will know their day-to-day bread and butter should be making sure that our roads are safe. So are you working on this?
Yeah, like I tell you, it's a process. Like, Mr. Jatta rightly mentioned before. We started, having a committee, and then the working group. And then last year, we had this unit that was created, within the ministry called the Road Safety Unit, which served as a secretariat, for the committee and the working group. So this year, we had we have this directorate of, transport.
Okay.
That's why, for me, I was the director of planning, but now I'm redesignated, to the director of transport. So for now, it is the directorate of, transport which should take charge of, these road safety activities.
Which is your area, isn't it?
Yeah, which is my area. But, we are saying, the best, practices elsewhere is to have a dedicated, body that will be responsible for this. So if you look at at the level of the continent, for example, the AU, they have what they call the African Road Safety, Charter. Although the Gambia, we are yet to, ratify it, but it is a prerequisite, for any country that ratify, that charter within 3 years, to establish a, lead agency for road safety. And also at the level of ECOWAS also, they are coming up, with a charter, and it's coming up, it's having the same recommendation for the countries to have this lead agency. Okay. And then for us, why it is important, for us to discuss this, is at this particular time, is to kind of, to gather some sort of, support, or to tell people what, exactly needs to be done, so that we can have the support. Because, this year, for example, we have the organized a workshop for the National Assembly members. And then, for them, most of them, they were interested in this, bid. Because, you cannot have a dedicated lead agency without having the necessary legislative, framework in place. So we need their support. At the level of the government, we have the support of our, minister. And one key important in terms of road safety also is high level, political commitment. That's why in some countries, the lead agencies, they are directly under the president or the office of the vice president. And then we are hoping that maybe the Gambia also, although our minister is very much, interested in the issue of the road safety, and then we hoping that the president of the republic also, will have the same, interest. If we have that high level, political, commitment, I'm sure, we will reach there sooner than later.
Interesting. Mr. Jatta, let me come back to you. You're from the NRE, and you guys are doing a lot of work in making sure that, the safety of our roads, are number one. But again, this is not going without challenges. A lot of challenges are attached. A particular example was when I hosted this program some time ago, when they said they have signboards that was one. But how important is this when we have a lead agency like Dramé just talked about, to make sure that, because we know the police cannot do it alone, to have people that are there to make sure that this is our duty to make sure. We are talking about the OIC. We will soon be seeing extra 3 lanes, going and coming. The road will be expanded. Drivers will be, sometimes, overspeeding and stuff. How important it is to have a lead agency, people that will be tasked with that responsibility of, not the police, not the ministry, but people that are tasked to be on the roads to make sure that road safety is number one.
It's really very, very important, because for the engineering aspect, that's what NRA would be stepping in, like making sure that the roads are designed as per standard. Because there are standards to the design of roads, and then once when they are built also, they are built to those standards, and trying to get these road signages standardized, and trying to kind of say, if I may say, police the signboards, because at times the signboards are knocked down before you know, like you just said, they've been taken away and sold. So those things are part of the things that are very, very important, because it is true some people might not understand the signages, but it's also good to have them, because that is what the information is. The word tells you, okay, this section is a no speeding zone, or you are having a hump in front of you. Before you know, you knock it. So some of these things are really, very, very important. And the lead agency will also help coordinate all these activities. Because like he said, you'll be having the response emergency team, the enforcing, like for the police and all that, in terms of accidents, when to do these measurements and all that, and trying to get, at times there are accidents and the vehicles that are stopped on the road, they need to be towed out of the right of way, so that at least another vehicle, traffic will flow, or other vehicles coming will not come and just knock and bring another accident. So it's really, really very, very important that we have this lead agency.
Yeah, very important. But Dramé, as you said earlier, with all the explanation you did on how to have a lead agency and where we are right now to where we are anticipating to reach, you will agree with me that this is no child play. It will need a lot of support, resources in order to implement this.
Yeah, that is, very, very true. It's very true. It needs, level of commitment, from all the, relevant stakeholders, to see that, it is realized. And then we're hoping that, maybe the steps, that we are taking, we are taking the right, steps, to get to where we're anticipating to get. But, like the question that you posed to, Mr. Jatta, is just going to be a matter of, the lead agency will not necessarily be doing all that needs to be done. Okay. But in other words, it's just a matter of making different players, do what they're supposed to do.
Coordination.
Yeah. For example, like currently, they might have, excuses. I'm not doing this because of A, B, and, C. But if I provide you, with A, B, and, C, and then you will be accountable at the end of the end of the year.
Okay.
So, that is it. The police, when they say they don't have the necessary equipment, you provide them. The National Roads Authority, if, they require, fund to do certain activities, you allocate them the funding. And then you make them accountable, for, what they're supposed, to do. In other words, it's making different players, perform the function that they are supposed to, perform. Yeah.
Interesting. That's exactly what, because as you've talked about countries that already have this, and we are yet to be there. How soon do you think this can be effective, or we can see the ball start rolling as far as the country is concerned? Because when it comes to road safety, I'm sure we won't even rank in the top 10, have to do that research again. But if you go on the road traffic index, accident index, the ranking that we are is very bad. And to improve that, things like what you're talking about should be in place to improve our road safety. But how soon, are we to see this happening after contacting these important stakeholders that you mentioned?
Yeah, it's a process, and then it depends on the support, that we get, because some of these things require certain steps or actions to be taken. For example, it needs cabinet approval, and then when there is cabinet approval, also you need the support of the National Assembly. And I'm sure now most of the National Assembly members they are aware of what we're trying to do, and then they are very appreciative of it. I'm sure when it reach to them, it can easily pass, because many National Assembly members are even concerned about the level of accidents that are happening. So it's not about only the executive or the National Assembly members, even the civil society organizations. We all have a role to play, and I'm sure with collective commitment, we'll be able to get there very soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure who will be the better person to answer this. If we have all these things in place, the laws put in place as well to make sure punish violators should be improved. Many complain that and that comes to the general public. You can do all this that you're talking about. The public also have a very key role to play in making sure that our roads are safe. I.e. drivers, pedestrians. The laws also should definitely be improved, because some of these punishments are very light, according to many.
Yeah, this has been a long-standing, concern, because there is a general belief that some of the laws are not adequate. Some are obsolete, and there is a need to review these things comprehensively. And then at the level of the ministry, with the police and the Ministry of Trade, we are in the process of reviewing of all the transport laws and regulations, and I'm sure most of those things will be taken care of during the review.
Okay, interesting. I can't wait for that. And Mr. Jatta, the attitude of Gambians or road users, I would say, also should be looked into, because of course we are talking about the safety and everything, it goes back to the people, because the people are we will be on the roads either walking, riding or driving, and the attitude definitely needs to change.
True, the attitude needs to change, and that will call for kind of sensitizing the public and then making sure that some of these issues are being made clear to them. Like let's say you have a zebra crossing in front of a school, the students need to know, or people crossing the zebra need to know that they have how the zebra is supposed to be crossed. Because at times you are driving and you are maybe at the back of a vehicle. Before you know, the students are crossing on the zebra and another vehicle is coming and speeding behind. So those are things that should be explained to the drivers. There needs to be some sensitization as well, because some people, they think it's their right to do this while it's not. So some sensitization has to be done so that we could get effective attitudinal change.
Very well said. We will be opening the lines later on 5050505. But before that, I just want us to dwell into the local languages quickly, because for the benefit of others that are watching, and and particularly those in the Gambia here. Mr. Drame come na for nyame nek angale kangoto nakachabi mu no road safety lati and ni ko lead agencies lafta felle natila nyim banko kam yalo ko amanso do follow bari na Africa Banko do to abijele mu yalo ko doko wala doko le dila ka jeko na silol minul ba jubela make so as a tankano nyaming more, because near Jube Gambia accident ko siya bake Gambia jang nabuta accident ko nyaming fang more serious accident than even more than the COVID right now in the lives of muntek takang, it's just too much. And WHO ko more ranked number 4 around the world on road traffic accidents, and this is so scary. So alanyin team mo nati mo lead agency for road safety akumata bakale, but abe commencé la wenle wolum questionity, but nsafono alianati nyaming is very good, but when le mbajela pour abe datela nyaming na silo kan, so that mo jama se tankano mo fona miluba selaring sa start no kan na silo use.
Okay, abaraka bake comme nga fo angale kan to nyame comme dunia la jata kende bunda ye safar kenu kiskis kenu fana pour ka jube mobe accident nyin e ba talano la nyaadi banko kan andu nata je fana ko nin banko nyin lafta pour que la accident nyin pour ka a hapo nyin pour ka atala nyanna bunda sotolale bunda me yalon ko wole be marala accident la kuwalla ka jube
nasilol fana
andu wo fana comme amanya na kala comme ka fo dron bunda ti dron bari comme luwale fana nyanna taraw koma me yalon ko aba bambandila andu wol fana le nyanna la pour yena flo fana soto me yalon ko be karadila men yalon ko nyanna doku kala and then doku lal fana pour ka jube wol fana la doku nyim pour joki nyoma akuma yata bakele. So itol ma fo comme bunda nyi nga nyanna kala nyamen ima weyitande. So atuta banko nyi na bulu banko nyi na sembo ani banko nyi nga be nyame comme Gambia fa ngol fon safo no le sainten comme nga lead agency sotole ba ne ajube ne the team of the fonko nyi ya jube ko le effective lead agency. Najube lead agency ya define nyame nga lead agency nga sotole to some extent, but comme to lafta pray tara nyame mon futa auto follow lafta le pro lead agency me alon ko loi la fonko nyin sotola bambandiro nyin sotola
loi ba support la
loi nyin ba support la and also fankoñi fana be tarraje me alon ko men be do ko laje yela do ko kanyama. So ba hope kanne comme ka fu ko ning alayake be sotolale ate mela because ne ajube government na fanna bundal me alon wolem executive ti be concentrating nyon ko la bakele andum ne ajube député bundal fanal ama me fong député bundal nga workshop organize so député Jamal beje wol paretale pour ka jeko pour ñing bunda ka jeko ay lo alota ñamen and then ning ala yake atemela comme hameta la praye ke ñamen abe kala wal ñamal
okay ya fu non angale kan to jeng ni ajibe bankol mimbi ko Ghana and banku dol Africa jang WHO ita fulay ba kala ñami itil ba jube la sembo dan tada men ibi lefta kam moneke bari example min de ñing na African countries is very good malum Gambia na ñinta da falo ta lefta ka ke ñaadele
ha comme nga fo ñamen angale counto comme ni tata Nigeria comme ye police le soto men yalon ko wol femman ke la do koti pour ka jube accident o ñing be mol tankande la accident la ñami ani ning accident fona keta be mol ma koy la ñamen wala do ko mo wala ka uniform wala dum la do ko mo dronnet pour ka ji accident be tankala ñamen ani ning accident keta ibe mol ma koy la ñamen ni tata Sierra Leone fana ye mol soto le men yale ka uniform mo dum wol fanal comme ne je kemira ko police wol bar wol fanal la do ko mo dronnet because wa dol fana ka ya ning accident keta be ka fo wa dole golden hour montoro wati follow akumayata le pour menu bulata accident kono pour ye ma koy roñi soto ya soto because ni ma koy ro soto o wato la ila baramolo o asina wajabi no so comme accident mu fennete me alon ko ata baynola ba comme ninga keta ba jeno la nyame menu bulata kono comme kana
ma ko so quick response
yo soto so wol bellore wala ka jube la fana ba jela nyame ko accident kanake bar na keta fana munel nyenna kela pour ka mul ma koy so ni tata jana Ghana ye commission ole soto no bar after inata authority soto authority ñing ye kangodi wala bake me alon ko pour ka jube ka accident kulu ke jube bake bar woldum be ka uniform dum so ntol fanal Gambia jang ni ntol bo akela maybe be kelal ko Ghana tabe ñamen because woman tarna plan ol kono kamen ka ko at this stage komen ka mul soto men alon ko be uniform ol duna pour ba natra ko jarata la kis roketa nga jube ko jarata la le maybe mo sa ko jube bari sainteng maybe lafta agency le soto la me alon ko wala do ko be kala munati pour ka je ko accident ol kana soto andu na soto tapana mol kana mantora je
okay nyindum nanyanta ka soto ngan ko dépense ba siala de
a dépense ol comme ngabele ko nying agency dolbe ñamen and then ne a jube fana menu be marala ñing kola already Jamal beje lote faye ne foka pare for example ne national roads authority je be lori faye ne police will be lori faye ne and then the ministry of health wol fanal beje so comme la fonko ñing budget o ñing pour ka demanding kafuje pour kaje ko ñanna menu kala pour ya ka ñama
okay that's interesting mamur lekan do den ngadum suru akamoto Mr Jatta dila dalalat benen yoon waxtaan bi amna solo trop si jëm kanami réew mi la si lu melni walum accident naka lañ koy wañé ak ño xamanteni ñoy lay jëfandiko suñu yoon wi andi ngeen thème bu bees mooy naka la ñoo defandikoo ba am ay sarta yoo xamante ne tegar nañ ko pour make sure ne accident wàññeeku na si réew mi te bëri na waaye bu ñoo waxtaanee tey am na solo trop di lead agencies yoo xamante ne nii Gambia xëy na amaanguñ ko wala su amee sax xëy na effective boo xamante ne comme yeneen dëkk yu mel ni Ghana Sierra Leone yeneen dëkk yéen mu nekk National Road Authority foog nga ne bu lii amee naka la mën a yombalee naka la mën a yombalee suñ dem ak dëkk bi ak wàññi accident si biir réew mi.
jërëjëf fi sa laajte bi comme ni ma ko waxee si anglais rek suñu amee lead safety road safety agency bi dinañu dimbale trop because dina gina dooleel yeneen départements yi nga xam ne ñu ngi bokk ci yëfu road safety bi lu mel ni NRA lu mel ni police bi lu mel ni ñi nekk si wàllum health bi su loolu amee for exemple xëy na NRA dinañ gën a soxla xaalis pour gën a improve yoon yi wala xëy na am na place yoo xam ne NRA dina ko gën a mun a improve su loolu su amee loolu dina nekk comme luy xool agency yeneen banqaas yu ndaw yi bokk ci lead agency bi pour xam ne lead see ñu war a nekk comme ñu ne su fekkee ne accident am na ñu ngi soxla quick response team bi da war a nekk foofu dina war a soxla moto yu baax pour mun a daw dem ci accident scene bi mun a jël ñi am gaañu dawale leen ci lopitaan bi gën a jege wala fu fekkee police war nañ faa nekk ñoom tam ñu mun a am waruwaay yu baax yi la mun a yóbbu ci place bu accident am wala même NRA si boppam sax place yi nga xam ne am na problème nga xam ne hotspot la war nañ ko mun a xoolaat defaraat ko ba nga xam ne accident su waree am sax dafa wàññeeku so lead agency dafa mel ni di lii nekk ci kaw di xool yeneen banqaas yëpp yi ci bokka daf ko gën a dimbale si yeneen départements comme département su ma wax nii so lead agency bi is very very important am na solo trop.
waaw Gambia amaanguñ ko yeneen dëkk yi am nañ ko suñ ko amee comme noo ko waxee dinañu jàppale trop comme ni ma ko waxoon si anglais tamit yoon yi yëpp soo gisee ñu ngi naan mbiri road safety ñoo ni ñoo aaree suñ boppa ñun ñoo lay use yoon bi. waaw so mun nañoo am lii yëpp mu tegu parce que man maa ngi la waxtaan ak suma benn xarit mu baxee ko Angleterre bu mu ñëwee mu ne ma ne OIC project bi dina am ma ne ko waaw mu ne ma yoon yi nañ ko yokka ma ne ko waaw mu ne ma kon de si la accident di gën a yokku te accident bi ñun ñoo leen nekk si kaw yoon bi foog naa tamit askan gi am nañ rôle bu ñoo play make sure ne ak lii nu su munee am yëpp suñu pour ñun la ba suñu attitude suñu jikko yi war nañ ko mën a change si yoon boo xamante ne ñun ñëpp a ko bokk.
waaw loolu dëgg la comme ni ma ko doon waxee si anglais rek foog ñu am pour nit ñi su ma ko mën a waxee noonu xamal nit ñi ne yoon bi nii la yoon bi lii la sartay wax su comme ni ma ko waxee rek bu fekkee ne yaa ngi am lu ñuy wax zebra crossing ci kanami school yaa ngi daw di ñëw ak doole waaye yaa gis ne xale ñu ngi ci kaw rëda bi bu weex bi da nga am pour wàññi sa tànka am na laan buñ rëda balaa nga am rëda yu bëri yi nga war a mën a taxaw foofu may xale yi wala ku mun di jàlla ci public domaine bi ñu ko def nga may ñu jàlla ak yeneen ñu nga xam ne war nañ la mun a sensitize ni nga ko waxee ci anglais nag olof nag xaw ma ko. waaw at least.
génne nag waaw génne na.
waaw li leen xamal la ne yoon bi lii soo gisee mandarga bi ci kanami banta buñ taxawal loolu lañ buñ taxawal nga xam ne lii la tekki yaakaar na ne loolu tam bu amee dinañu dimbale trop bi ko ñeneen ñu bëri ñu ngeen dawal waaye buñ xoolee mandarga bi xamuñ la mandarga bi waa loolu dinañu dimbale trop war nañoo mun a wécci suñ jikkoy tamit because léegi nga bugg a daw foo xam ne jarul daw bu bëri fu jarul daw bu bëri nga bugg a faa daw ndànka loolu tamit war nañ see bàyyi suñu xel bu baax a baax because comme niñ ko waxee daw bu baax dal bu baax which is not also loo xam ne tamit du dimbale waaw
am na ku la teg question léegi nii dina la ko la teg balaa ma ñëw si Dramé bi mu wax mooy ndax nit nañ loolu yëpp moom lu mu gis mooy nañ dooleel banqaas yoo xamante ne ñoo yore wàllum yoon bi di NRA yi mun na ñu dooleel police yi jox leen ñu soxla bu loolu xam ne foog ma ne nit nañ road waa agency waa safety agency yi ni mun a soxla ko
road safety agency bi soxla nañ ko soo xoolee dëkk yu esa wax nii wala comme ñun dañ dee dem si luñ de ooyee am na organisation bu ñu ooyee West African Road Safety Organisation in short dañ ko ooyee WASO si dëkki ECOWAS yëpp bokk nañ ci Gambia Sénégal yu name it dëkk yi nekk West Africa yëpp si dëkk yooyu dëkk yu esa doon lim nii Sierra Leone Ghana Nigeria ñoom ñëpp am nañ seen road safety agency tur baa utee rek ñi ñu ne commission ñi ñu ne authority ñi ñu ne traffic warden ñun am nañ fiñ door bot soo demee si meeting bi loolu foog ñu indi ko because man I remember maa ngi fàttali ko dem naa benn meeting road safety meeting Mali lii 2015 la woon wax nañ ko fa ne dëkk yi amut lead agency nañ fexe ñu jéem a am lead agency because moom mooy dimbale moom la comme ni ñoo waxee NRA nguur waa ko doolee ko taxawal mu mun a nekk foofu pour defar yoon yi road maintenance bi design si liggéey ak consultant yi ak contracteurs yi li road safety agency boobu tam noonu la moom mel moom faa nekka ci boppa bi di xool yeneen agency yi nekka nga xam ne ñoom ñoo ŋànka yëfi road safety so suñ ne amul njëriñ man du ma xaw a d'accord si loolu because boo xoolee even ci réew tubaab bi sax am nañ ko fu WHO waaye ne lii soxla nañ ko te yeneen dëkk ñu ngi ko am gisuma lu tax Gambie tam waruñ ko mën a am na am dëkk bi tuuti na ñun bëriwuñ noonu waaye dañ ko soxla soxla nañ ko trop
esa comme nañini kañum min ngame fan laftaka fan fayje jani mba murla angale kangoto mole ko nyako aman jiki ko sorata wala lay ñing lead agencies ako sorata mun la wala nga bagasol tan na di NRA la aning polisol la bagasol timma so do ko sekeno nyama
okay bagasol ibe dile la nyaade la ngamre be kodole dile la okay ni kodo di NRA la what is the guarantee ko maybe itata sila do jana ye fendol bulaje ne kodo di police la what is the guarantee ko itata duna security call to instead of road safety so that's why wala tina kumayata pour ñing body ñing ye taraje pour ka call ñing coordinate so because ne road safety je comme aka produce le ko comme product sol ka produce nyame for you invest you have to invest in it and then you get the
results.
You get the results yeah so andong for pay taraje me alon ko be coordinate la because ne West Africa countries all jube sa ngamira Gambia ni maybe at tambela countries sabala many alon ko man lead agencies and then the evidence is from those countries where it and the co lead agency akumayata le proka because ne Nigeria je no in 1990s the accident record was very very bad with sign ni tata je sign even tuba banko dol fangol beje kan Nigeria tale as an example because your system women put in place. So
we don't tell about number 4 accident.
No. Yala water fana e fanko sotole.
Dolte sonna.
Yeah, dolte sonna because WHO you calculate nyamen because for example WHO it will nyale bije me alon ko ka the fatality rate ni ka calculate nyame because it only men from ko coming nintol ko accident keme wala keta sango kono actually maybe accident keme woro wala keta so it's like you have to multiply it by a factor of 6 or 5 or 6 because it all they put certain things under consider so wala tina maybe if you go by that it will be misleading
mole fanan ko akumata bakre because I bank do jele mol mi yalan ko tele ba mar la ñin silol la special ni traffic ko ba siaring and you manke policeol defan bari man sakondale ke sinni ye ga make so ye karandi silol ñin la luwal long kam mol ma ko so that accident won setala and ngam defana son tawla bari tala banko jamal to mi yalan ko Africa jang ngam mo jëm yalan ko tele ba mar len traffic wala fa bu kake policeol
well because ni tata Nigeria ye mol sotole many yalan ko ka uniform mol dum after yemol soto many along there are thousands many along ko mu volunteer led community volunteer many along ko for example ne aje ko accident ko kasia maybe tanje siloka ye volunteer they registered they organize themselves to be part of it so dol fanal in traffic warden soul thing well formally they registered and then their work is purposely to improve the road safety situation so akumaya tale so wasifa alfanal maybe Gambia at some point be also because there was a time the current IEC chairman he is very passionate about that coming to have this traffic wardens in across the country so he came up with an idea and then we had some discussion with him yeah so maybe at some point we may have something like that because more se volunteer nole ka je ko accident ay tala banko kan because dula dul be je accident kake tonya you know ama injure accident dul be je because neaje ko is predictable. So if it is predictable, it can be preventable because it alone ko nin bari bata.
Yeah.
Salon ko, you know, maybe sibula no accident ko no. So what a ningi tata bula accident ko no maybe famala atin. So ko dol be je dal se will you know avoid no. Yeah.
As we were saying earlier on the comment section, you know, the people that were saying, I don't think we need lead agencies here. What we need is to equip the police, the NRA, you know, to work effectively. You know, someone also is saying we need it because in other countries in Africa, you see people that are not necessarily police officers, you know, but you know, well trained and will volunteer on our traffic to make sure that the traffic is regulated and reduce accidents.
Yeah, that is it. I think that's why, you know, it is deliberate that, you know, we brought in, you know, this, you know, topic, you know, today for discussion so that, you know, people can know, you know, what needs to be done and then we debate on it so that we can have a way forward. Yeah, I think it's important.
Telephone now if you are watching and you want to contribute niba juber la lafta ke dabula kachako no nyanta mankela ministry learning idea is very good. I think nita the African countries jamal kono hani tubabu du fang na sotale, you know, lead agencies and ejikita ko di banko ya soto niela na traffic accidents so record sol fango jube kabring imasoto akatala bakele. So you just call on 5050505. 5050505 is the number to dial and be part of this program. What do you make of these ministry's initiative, the effective lead agency for road safety? You know, the Gambia is yet to have one, or if it does, it's not that effective, and they want to make it effective like other countries, like Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone. You know, it's all geared towards, you know, reducing, you know, or if not really, you know, reducing road safety accidents to zero, because Gambia, as we said earlier, we are ranked number 4th, but as I said, and I really agreed, you know, I'm not sure we are definitely number 4th, because yes, I agree there are accidents that do happen, but ranking us number 4 around the world, no. What should we do? Do you agree with what the Ministry of Transport, Works, Infrastructure have come up with on the effective lead agency, and what, of course, the mechanism that they want to put in place in making sure that, you know, our roads are safe and very safe for that matter, for Gambians and of course for users. And yeah, and I forgot to ask this before the first caller comes in. You know, it's a 3-year project, as I said, 3-year planning before it comes into effective. When did you start this? Was it last year or year before last?
No, what I said was this African Road Safety Charter.
Okay, I think we have a caller before you come in. Okay. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Your name and where you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Ibrahim Fofana. I'm calling from...
Mr. Fofana, you're welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're welcome.
Yeah, man, dama bëgg bokk seen programme bi.
Okay, bismillah.
Yeah, rafetlu naa ko torop.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, because of right now, see, so it's léegi traffic bi nu mu demee dafa worse. Waaw, sakatuma soo jógee ci suba everywhere foo dem ngi block pour xale school yi jot ci school bi teel trafic delay. waaye lu may ñaan government bi rek na gaay gën a yokk yoon yi. waaw dafa yoon yi daal na another diversion yoon yi bëri because dama dee cappa léegi trafic si bloqué. driver dem dee try di dugal si koñ yi nii léegi koñ yooyu daf dee am yi kër. am na kër yoo xamante ne dañ dee am xale so du dee uur tamit xam nga you know. waaw ma loolu la am pour contribute, you know.
Thank you. Dina la tell Mr. Jatta shortly. Ñom ñoy NRA te you know moo tax the topic bi dafa important trop because ñi ngi naan road safety, you know, road si loo ko waxee dafa xat te accidents yaa ngi bëri, you know, and te ñi ngi xalaat pour yokkal yoon yi. So xëy na balaa loolu noonu yëpp, you know, suñu amee lead agency yi di in place balaa yoon yi di pare dina important. You were saying a very important, you know, topic that I asked earlier, I mean, on the issue of the setting up of the.
Yeah, what I was saying is there is this African Road Safety, you know, charter that was prepared, and then countries are encouraged even the UN Special Envoy on road safety wrote a letter to the government of the Gambia reminding us, the need to ratify, the charter.
Okay.
So what I'm saying in the charter is like it is recommended if a country ratify the charter, within 3 years, to set up the lead agency. So for us, we don't ratify the charter yet.
Okay.
But for us, we are in the process because like I told you, we had the committee, the working group. Still now, we have the committee and the working group, and then we set up the road safety, unit.
Wow.
We're serving as the secretariat, and then now the directorate of, transport.
So
it's like it's a process. I'm sure, for us, by the time we, ratify the charter,
we will get
within
into
1 to 2 years, we'll
let's talk to this caller. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, your name and where you calling us from?
Man naa def.
Jàmm rek tur bi ak fooy wootee.
Man Cheikh laa tudd.
waaw Cheikh ñu la dalal si programme bi.
waaw programme bi so man ni ma gisee programme bi
waaw.
mooy ne ñoom li ñu lifin ni yëpp gis nga li number one mooy di signboard si.
signboard si.
signboard si yëpp mooy di best signboard si yëpp moo war a am ba pare zebra crossing yu nekk di wax.
waaw.
zebra crossing yi dafa war a am signboard in English am signboard in Arabic.
ok.
waaw ba pare dañ leen war a wan tamit 5 people ñoo war a am pour ñu war a cross wala 10 people wala 7 people wala 8 waaye any people lay bëgg a cross traffic jam la de cause.
really.
definitely.
waaw Cheikh xam nga ne signboard si tamit NRA dañ ko leen sampa gars yi di ko buddi di ko dem jaay feeraay.
waaw waaye il faut ñu continuer di sampa rek because soo xëyee di nga ma wax la tuuti te que soo xëyee joxe dépasse bi following day bi da ngaa joxe waat dépasse soo jëndee kaas koo bu jeexee da ngaa pour dem jëndal kaas koo so il faut ñu try rek.
ok.
il faut ñu try.
baax na jërëjëf Cheikh waaye soo génnee dépense tamit nga ñëw gisuloo añ ëllëg doo génnee dépense de mu ngi àllu important ni signboard si ak yooyu noonu waaye problème bi mooy comme last time ni ko fi waxtaanee signboard si amoon na yëpp sakat mooy yoon yu ees yi soo dafa delluwee léegi doo lay gis dara soo la tee ñu ne dañ ko buri dem jaay ko feeraay loolu tamit beneen affaire la
non li dee yow sax dooma li da nga gis xëy na moto laal na ko so affaire yi xal na dinga ni tuuti rek bala nga am leew xëy na kooku guddi bi bëccëg doo ko ñemee jël dafa am late hours rek mu gas rek yóbbu jaay na ko dëgg la ñu ngi try ñu ngi replace signboard yu bari bu yàggul nii am na benn supply bi ñu amal kind of a framework whereby dina supply signboard as and when buñ ko soxlee so dinañ delluwaat xoolaat signboard si missing yëpp ñu fixaat leen after maybe every quarter ñu dem di leen xool seet buñ yóbbu ñu delloo waaye tamit nit ñi ñoo war a am rafetal ne xam ne lii du suma boss waruma koo yóbbu even lu fekkee da nga fekk mu ngi dënga sax boo ko mënutee jubante jarul jubante sax yow baa ko foofu rek ñun dina ñëw jubante ko wala ñu génne ko fa def fa beneen jëma yow boobu jubante ko am feneen ñu ko yóbbu waaye da ngaa ñëw affaire yi dara jotu ko sax
nga buddi
waaw da nga fi ne poche dara nekku fa nga ne xaaral ma buddi dem am njëge ataaya and it's not done.
loolu affaire la keneen ki mënu la te tamit mbiri ne yoon yi daf lay xat trafic bi suba te maa ngi naan ne yoon si NRA ak partners yi ñi nga work on develop yoon yi yokka yoon yi. waaw yoon yi balaa yoon yooyu di ñëw foog naa lead agency yi baax na trop.
lead agency yi baax na trop. ñu am ko vrai yoon yi tamit dëgg la ñu ngi liggéey waaye na ñoom seen bët yi dafa doyut waaye ñu ngi liggéey après bu yàggut nii nit ñi gis nañ ne am nañ contract buñ sign pour 50 kilomètres yoon yi ci biir dëkk bi comme. suñu ne oban waaw roads yooyu yëpp soo ko boolee yëpp together yaa ngi am juróom fukki kilomètres loolu soo ko amee dina dimbale lii ñoo wax trafic jam si nii benn ci mooy soo xoolee fii Alliance Franco nekka Johnson bi fi Jah Old Station bi nekka yoon boobu mu ngi jógee foofu dem ba Jimpex mu cross nga koof noonu dem ba Tike Moros mu dem Johnson ne GTTI bi xam nga loolu su fekkee yaa ngi dëkkee boor bi let's say boor yi LK Latrikunda nii jarul nga ñëw ba Westfield di toon di ñëw soo jógee Banjul ñëw ba Oudou jógee Banjul ñëw ba Oudou Song rek foofu nga ko fi ticket moto rek continuer taal dem
hello waaw hello
hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
maa ngi tudd Pedro Gomez.
Mr. Gomez, welcome.
Pedro.
Yeah, maa ngi nuyu sama brother George.
Fay naa la.
Yeah, dama bëggoon a contribute ak si programme bi, it's very interesting.
Okay.
First of all, dama bëggoon a wax ci affaire yi traffic lights yi.
Traffic lights.
Waaw, dama bàyyi xel ne most of traffic lights yi ñu amee nii suñ yaaxoo pour ñu replace ko daf dee jafe daal or mu take time.
Okay.
te foog naa bokk na si li ease tamit traffic congestion bi. dina dimbale police yi ba pare dina dimbale tamit driver yi seen boppa. because bàyyi naa xel bu nekk Cow Johnson bu nekk Airport Johnson bu nekk Sukuta bu nekk Johnson yi Sukuta bi dem Tontable yooyu yëpp doxatuñ léegi. so I don't know ndax ñu dara plans pour ñu indi ko waat.
Okay.
the other thing mooy dama doon suggest xam nga dinañ mën a introduce yellow lines si every junction leading to the highway.
Okay.
Because léegi-léeg nga gis driver bu ñëw ba si Johnson bi mu taxaw moto jógee si biir koñ bi bugg a éeg tali bi xëy na pour jël di war a leen du mun a éeg wala moto jógee si beneen leen bi di wàcc si dugga si koñ bi du mun a dugga bi ko driver dafa fil ne mu si highway bi moom moo nekk si raytam soo dafa taxaw si yoon foofu noonu soo su emergency amee doo mun a romba te léegi-léegi ni nga ñàkkee am chance pour éeg romba daf dee tax ba beneen leen bi du flow ba nga xam ne kenn du mun a dem waaye su introduction yellow lines ku ñëw si Johnson nga fekk fa yellow line ñu éduquer driver si mu la ne soo ñëwee si Johnson doo fa taxaw. So Johnson leading to the highways will always be free. Nga ne nit mun na faa éeg nit mun na faa wàcce dugg si koñ yi rather than every koñ boo àggale fekk moto yaa ngi block.
Okay.
boobu tam foog naa daf dee gën a slow trafic da nga yow doo dem sa morom du dem simply because da nga taxaw foo xam ne waruloo faa taxaw. waaye xëy na su yellow lines yooyu amee spots yooyu noonu dina free. moto boo xam ne amul dara pour def ak trafic bi dafa just cross rek te kenn du ko disturb.
Baax na thank you.
waaw boobu tamit sama suggestion.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. NRA am ngeen liggéey de. am ngeen liggéey de waaye I am pretty sure ne with the coming of this feeder roads yooyu wax nii ak 50 kilometers bu dem ba Sting Corner bu ma gisee design bi it's well structured and foog naa ne yu bëri si moom dina mën a dinañ ko mën a saafara xëy na du yëpp ndànka la tamit.
waaw
yëpp duñ ko mën a def benn
comme ko exagéré process la rek.
Fortunate that we are running out of time. Mr. Dramé, I'll come back to you quickly. I think this will continue. We will keep on, talking to people, about road safety. Government is doing all that it can to make sure it brings the necessary, requirements for the public. But again, it's for the public also to change their attitude towards, the way we use our roads, be it the driver, the cyclist, one riding a motorbike, even the pedestrians. Very important that these roads, before the coming of all these implementations, we're going to need to use the roads. We're going to use the roads every day. It's important that we are very careful to make sure that we use it safely without any problems.
No, that one is true. No matter how good you make your roads to be, no matter how good the vehicles are, if the attitudes do not change, the accidents will just continue to occur, because the research has shown that most of the accidents 93% as a result of human error.
Errors, yeah.
So no matter how the infrastructure is good, or the vehicle, if for us we don't change our attitudes, accidents will occur. I seem to concur with you said your friend of yours who said that the good roads they will encourage accidents.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately here people attribute accidents to only the bad roads.
Wow.
But if you look at most of the bad roads, maybe the accidents are not happening
on those bad roads.
They'll slow
down.
On those bad roads.
Yeah.
The accidents are normally happening
on very good roads.
The good roads. So sometimes it's so. But what is also important for us, this having this lead agency, is very important. For example, the lead agency will make sure that the entities perform the job as expected.
Wow, we're running out of time, unfortunately.
I
definitely will be coming back here, I think, next month again. I think once a month we'll be talking about this. How I wish this could be every other weekend that we'll be coming here talking about roads. Mr. Jatta, thank you so very much for taking time to come down. Mr. Drame, from the Director of Transport. Jatta is a Technical Director of the NRA. Till we come your way next time, be safe on our roads. It's ours, and drivers that are driving, the life you save might be your own, so please drive carefully. My name is Babu Karsi. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant night.